Ever feel like you're going around in circles in life and not making progress like you want to? If it feels like you're constantly facing setbacks and challenges, then you're looking at things all wrong. Because setbacks and challenges are opportunities, and learning how to embrace them can help you be successful. But to do that, you need to make one fundamental mindset shift: becoming flexible and adaptable. And that's what I'll show you how to do in this video. So let's talk about flexibility. Hi, I'm Jeremy Godwin and I teach you how to improve your mental health. Have you ever heard the story of Kodak? For most of the 20th century, they were one of the top brands in the world, and their name became synonymous with photography and film. Then, in the early 2000s, digital photography started taking off, but Kodak didn't want to eat into the profits they made from selling film for cameras. So, they began to lag behind their competitors. And slowly, that lag became a massive gap. A gap that became enormous after the iPhone was launched in 2007. Within just a few years, almost everyone had a phone with a camera in their pocket, and Kodak was left so far behind that they had no hope of catching up. Kodak filed for bankruptcy in 2012, and while they still exist today, they're a mere fraction of what they once were. Kodak's issue was that they weren't flexible and they weren't adaptable, and the fact is that change is a constant presence in all of our lives, and no amount of resisting it will just make things stay the same. If you want to be successful in life, you need to adapt by being flexible. So, what is flexibility? At its core, flexibility is our capacity to adjust, change, and cope with the unexpected. It's about being resilient, about bouncing back when life doesn't go as planned. In essence, flexibility is all about going with the flow and learning to handle whatever life throws your way. It's about accepting the fact that you cannot control others or the world around you. All you can control is yourself and what you choose to do and say. When you accept that fundamental truth of life, you can adapt quicker to challenging situations. So, what does it mean to be adaptable? Think of it like your internal GPS. When life changes the rules or throws an obstacle in your path, adaptability helps you reassess, reroute, and continue moving forward. So why does flexibility matter? First, it's good for your mental health. Embracing flexibility reduces stress, fosters resilience, and promotes a positive outlook, even when times are tough. It means less resistance to change and more embracing of new possibility. But beyond that, it's a key ingredient of success. Whether it's in terms of your work, your relationships, or your personal growth, flexibility and adaptability help you deal with change. Being rigid keeps you stuck, whereas being flexible helps you to grow and evolve, two of the most important traits of being successful. So if you're wondering how to do that, then let me talk you through how to become more flexible and adaptable. Tip 1. Be honest with yourself. Are you a stick in the mud? Do you like things a certain way? If the idea of change makes you feel super uncomfortable, then you need to be honest with yourself about that fact, so that you can slowly work on feeling more comfortable with change. One way to do that is with my next point. Tip 2, make small changes. Do one thing differently each day, like taking a new way to work or watching something you might not normally consider. These simple little shifts can help to show you that change isn't bad and slowly make you more comfortable with trying new things. Tip 3, try one new thing a week. And by that, I mean something bigger. Read a book, go to a class, make a scale model of a unicorn using paper mache, whatever floats your boat. The point is to do something different, which will help to prime you to be ready for other different things. Tip 4, give things a go. It seems like every week there's something new to try, and some of it can be a bit overwhelming. But if you just get stuck in your ways and refuse to adapt, then eventually you're going to get a nasty shock when you have no choice but to adapt. Tip 5, explore different ideas. We live in a world where it's become this group against that group, where we each have our own niche and a set of little boxes to live in, and we're encouraged to stay in our little boxes. Algorithms feed us similar ideas to what we already know and like, and so we just end up in an echo chamber of the same concepts and opinions. Break free by exploring different ideas. Deliberately expose yourself to viewpoints that differ from yours. watch a debate, read an opposing opinion piece, or engage in friendly discussions with differing perspectives. You don't have to agree, but it helps you to see that there's more than one way of looking at the world, and that we can all stand to be a lot more flexible. Here's the thing. In a world that's ever-changing, being rigid is no longer an option. If you want to win in life, you need to stretch yourself and learn to embrace flexibility and adaptability. These aren't just buzzwords. They're the keys to a balanced, successful, and fulfilling life. Now it's over to you. Let me know in the comments which tips you're going to apply, and watch this video next to learn how to realize your full potential. Plus, you can find out more about flexibility and your mental health in the latest episode of the Let's Talk About Mental Health podcast. It's linked in the episode description. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care and talk to you next time.